This is IGN.
Coming up, the latest details on the Mortal Kombat 2 movie. Welcome to your IGN Daily Update. But first, Thor Ragnarok and Jojo Rabbit director Taika Waititi is reportedly attached to direct a new Judge Dredd movie. Information on a Judge Dredd revival comes from The Hollywood Reporter, which says the Oscar winner will develop the film with the hope that it could spawn additional movies and shows should it perform. Plot details and a release date remain under wraps, but the project is said to pull more from comic book source material with a focus on world building and dark humor rather than any of the previous movie adaptations have. Also attached to the new Judge Dredd movie is the Fall Guy and Mission Impossible Rogue Nation screenwriter Drew Pearce, who will write the script. The Hollywood Reporter sources say Waititi and Pearce grew up reading Judge Dredd material and have been trying to find a project to work on together for years. It seems Judge Dredd will be the force allowing them to finally collaborate. Judge Dredd got its start as a pop culture and action icon in the 70s and has evolved in the decades since he first began bringing justice to the dystopian streets of Mega City 1. Movie fans first saw the character portrayed by Sylvester Stallone in 1995's Judge Dredd. It was a movie panned by critics, fans, and even franchise co-creator John Wagner that managed to find its way onto our list of the 15 worst comic book movies of all time. Thankfully, Judge Dredd had his reputation brought back to life, helmet and all, with 2012's Dredd. Starring Carl Urban and written by 28 years later's Alex Garland, it's a reboot we gave an 8 out of 10 upon its release, and it even managed to land on our list of the 15 best R-rated comic book movies in 2022. As glimpsed at the end of the new Mortal Kombat 2 trailer, Scorpion will confront Noob Saibot, aka Bi-Han, in the highly anticipated sequel. As Sub-Zero, Bi-Han, played by Joe Taslim, was slain by Scorpion/Hanzo Hasashi, played by Hiroyuki Sanada, at the end of the 2021 movie reboot. But Mortal Kombat fans always knew they hadn't really seen the last of Bi-Han, especially since Taslim had previously confirmed he'd signed a multi-picture deal to play the character. Considering that Carl Urban's Johnny Cage is the main protagonist of Mortal Kombat 2, just how much will the Scorpion Noob Saibot subplot figure into the sequel, especially since Hiroyuki Sanada has become an even more in-demand and award-winning actor since the first film thanks to the success of Shogun? Without giving any plot points away, they have a very strong history that was unresolved in the first movie that probably needs to be resolved at some point and may or may not be resolved in the second movie, Mortal Kombat 2 producer Todd Garner recently told IGN. But their storylines are instrumental in the plot of the movie, which overall does involve a tournament. Director Simon McCoy confirmed that Scorpion plays a pivotal role in this movie, but added during his interview with us that it's really just about giving every character a strong reason to exist in the world and giving them a way that each of them can start in one place and end in another. So we did that with Scorpion as well. He does an amazing job, hero again, and there's some pretty wild stuff he does with Noob, and it's very satisfying. It's exciting to know that the fans have got waiting for them this wonderful, epic fight that plays out. Garner cautioned that Scorpion is in the movie as much as Hiroyuki Sanada's busy schedule allowed. We would love to have had him even way more than we had him in the sequel, but he has a huge career. He's a legend, and so we understand the importance of his character and wanted to give him his due, but also understand that this is, for the most part in this movie, Johnny Cage's journey, and that, therefore, then we had to use Scorpion in the smartest way we possibly could think of to have the most impact on the story, which we hopefully have done, and give him his due in the fighting and the actual turns and twists of the story. Making movies involves physics, it involves real life, it involves actors, it involves schedules, and it's not like we can just pick and choose the schedules of people and get them as much as we would hope, the producer added. Katana is the daughter, in inverted quotes, of Shao Kahn and Sindel. We tell that story, McQuoid said of his movie's incarnation. So we play out our journey and from very early on to what that then means for our story we have. Then we have Jade, McQuoid continued, and they're just bringing a new feeling and a new tonal ingredient to the story and to the atmosphere of what we're creating. And it just made it feel more exotic and beautiful and interesting and brutal. Not to say that our existing characters, I really wanted to respect them throughout it as well. So it's just about fitting it all in and calibrating and balancing up all their stories. Given that the first film teased Johnny Cage's character would be in the sequel, should fans expect a post-credits scene in Mortal Kombat 2 that could set up another iconic games character that could be in a third film? No, it's not that kind of movie. There is a coda, but again, what we're very aware of, and this really comes to a real theory of New Line and why they're so great, is that they don't expect to make a sequel. We have to earn that right, Garner said. So we don't assume that we're going to get another shot at this because who knows, right? If we've done our jobs like we hope we've, given the, again, restraints of physics and budget and everything else, and the audience tells us they enjoyed it enough to support it and give us the opportunity to make the sequel, then we will. But we're not going to give you some post-sequence to be like, oh, this is going to happen in the sequel. Because hopefully, look, I will say in the same way that the first movie said, hey, we got to go find Johnny Cage, there is that idea at the end of this movie that this could continue. It's not like we're peeling off all the characters and saying, okay, we're done. Obviously, we could do more, and we obviously have plans to do more and know what we would want to do if we're given the opportunity to do more. And so if we're given that opportunity, then we will, but we don't want to assume that we can. Read our exclusive Mortal Kombat 2 cover story at IGN.com for more revelations from the filmmakers and star Carl Urban. Mortal Kombat 2 opens in theaters October 24th, 2025. That's your IGN Daily Update. My name is Tony Jackson, and if you want more news on your favorite games and entertainment topics, make sure to visit us at IGN.com. You can also download our free app on your phone or console and subscribe to our weekly podcasts through the podcast service of your choice.
Spoken Layer.